Well, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another daily stream. As you guys can see by the title today, I'm gonna be starting my daily stream where every single day I'll be streaming to reacting to anything that you guys want or you guys will comment. But as for today, I don't see anybody in the chat right now, so like today is just gonna be me reacting to stuff that I've seen and stuff that I'm gonna, react. I'm saying too much of reaction. Alright. Either way, so guys, welcome back. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have a nice day. Let's get in, brother. Okay, guys. So hopefully I'm not too loud or too much. Hopefully I am not. Anyway, this is gonna be our first videos that I'm gonna be reacting to. First up was stuff that I'm gonna be reacting to. But I'll be taking recommendations from you. So if you guys got anything that anything you want me to see, anything that you want me to know about, just tell me in the comment section below. You know, type shit. Alright, with this pinned. Alright.
What is an experience that has changed your life?
I would say the day I left home to head to college. I was sheltered at home. I didn't have much of at home and in a basketball gym, so I was able to get out away from my family and build my identity as a human being outside of the pressures that you have from your family and friends, your neighborhood. So I was able to kind of broaden my horizons when I went out to college, kind of build some independence for myself, you know, and I think that was a life-changing moment for me. Being able to have some freedom to think and be and feel who I wanted to be as a human being, it made me better as a basketball player, and it just made me prepare for life as I move forward to being a professional, you know. So,
And last but not least, what advice would you give to yourself and others that are, kind of going through that motion in life right now?
be more confident, be more enthusiastic about learning. I wish I'd told myself that as a kid. But be more confident in yourself more than anything.
What is an experience that has changed your life?
I would say the day I left home to head to college,
It's all about being yourself. Yo, I keep on telling you guys, it's all about being yourself. Wait, chat, am I echoing? Hopefully I'm not. I'm not echoing. Let's go to the next one.
What is the biggest red flag you completely ignored?
I was in a relationship and he was pretty misogynistic, and I looked the other way for quite a while because I needed him at the time. I wasn't ready to launch into that big compatibility issue because for me that was a deal breaker and I wasn't ready to break the deal.
At what moment did you realize it wasn't serving you?
I made a pretty big life change and got a new job, and I had really great people around me, and I think it was once I felt all of the support of my friendships, I was like, oh, these people who've known me for such a short time and this person who's known me for years and years, who has completely intertwined his life with me, is not as kind to me as these other people are, and I wanted better.
So what are
Okay, what's happening right now, bro? Why am I getting blockage?
some of the signs that a man has this character trait?
If they talk with their boys in a way that is rude or in a way that they wouldn't talk around everybody else, that's a pretty big sign.
What is something you've learned about yourself in the process?
Kindness is out there, and that it will actually be harder to trust people who are good to you if you spend a lot of time with people who are not good to you.
Can I have your name and where you're from?
Yes, I'm Kaya and I'm from New York.
What is the biggest red flag you completely
Kyle. Best advice, okay. But one of the best relationship advice I've actually received myself. I'm proud to say that. It's quite good. It's quite interesting, not gonna lie, to have that much, ability to move on over something so difficult in your life is it's a blessing. It's a blessing. We take things too seriously. Sometimes you gotta loosen up, go to the world, like just imagine all of the stuff that you could have done that time, bro. Like you can't even be productive Or you can go outside. As I said, you can go outside, just relax, have a chill day, go to the park, see some kids. Not this era anymore, but hey, you used to. You see some kids, you see some people who are, trying to make survival, trying to go on to their ways. It's quite nice. It's just a nice feeling.
What is a misconception people often have about you?
People think I'm always being serious, and I am not serious at all. When I'm online, I try to represent myself well, but I'm not serious. I also like to send shots at people. I like to salute people all the time. I grew up with 3 brothers, around lots of men. I wish people knew that most of the time I'm joking.
How does it make you feel then?
I feel misunderstood. It forces me to split my personality. It forces me to have a version of myself that is my work me, wherever I am being Julia Danuga that people know. It causes for me to sort of slip into that personality and kind of keep my unserious, jokey self away from people. Because of the way social media works, you have to hold back a bit. One misunderstanding, you can lose a job, you can lose money, you can lose your career. Like, there's so much stuff that can happen off of a misunderstanding of you just saying something or not meaning it in the way that it was perceived.
Yeah, social media is such a risky job, but such a good thing to. It's the pros and cons of being on social media is good. Like, it's almost balanced, but not balanced. There's some deeply bad stuff in there, but there's also some good stuff there. But social media, as I started my journey as a streamer, I actually didn't think I was going to be a good streamer. I thought like people are going to ridicule me because stuff like that. I'm still not a good streamer. I'm still not a good streamer, but I'm gradually going over there. I'm gradually having that feeling, No one feels.
How does the marathon impact the area and people that you serve?
It's like the beginning of the new year for us. Everybody comes out. It's a marvellous celebration of exercise and sport and team and community. It's all those things working together.
What's an inspirational story that has stayed with you that you could possibly share with us?
When I see some of the people on that marathon, we've had people who are blind. We've had people dressed up in heavy, heavy costume. And I thought, oh my God. There's commitment for you. Marathon gives people a sense of purpose. All of the time there were people on that road because they're practicing and running and getting themselves set up for the marathon.
What do you love most about London?
I love the community I'm blessed to be working with here, with plenty to do, with a purpose. The community is my family, it's my home now. What we were doing was celebrating difference. Difference is good, thank God we're not all the same. You wouldn't want to be the same as me now, would you? It's the richness that it brings to a community.
What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Sister Christine. You know darn well I'm Irish.
How does the marathon impact the area and people?
Great. Oh my God. Yeah, seeing people like this have experience just brings tears to my eye, bro. Oh my God, oh my goodness. Wait, is that 50 Cent? Chat, is that 50 Cent? Nah.
What is your biggest insecurity?
Low-key looking for outside validation sometimes. I know that I'm doing something really cool and it's like, look at this, I'm doing something really cool, and then everybody's walking past the streets of New York and it's kind of like, no one sees it.
Why do you think you needed to find outside validation?
I think it's part of the concept of life, thinking that we create art for others. Really, just as an artist, your job is to only create, and it's not necessarily to be in a box or to be in a concept. I think I just went with the status quo. I need people to look at my art and to validate my art for it to be called art. And now I know that's not the case.
Has somebody's opinion ever hurt you?
The first opinion that hurt me recently was my own. I think I formed opinions when I started going to school. I would realize that people were living differently than I was. Then I would generate opinions about how I was living, and I would think like, why don't I have this? Or why don't I have this? Just comparison and stuff like that. So just being born to the concept of life again plagues very much.
Whenever you feel like you are comparing yourself, what do you do?
Sometimes Sometimes I like to run down a list of accolades of things that I've done. Sometimes we gotta strike ego with ego. You gotta fight fire with fire. Am I comparing myself? Okay, you've done some pretty amazing things, bro.
Can I have your name and where you're from?
My name is Turquan. My friends call me Floaty. I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
What is your biggest insecurity?
Low-key looking for outside validation sometimes. I know that I'm doing something really cool, and it's like, look at this, I'm doing something really cool, and then everybody's walking past the streets.
Kind Wait, is that actually him? This is the guy? Oh, let's go to this page. Fully, man. Nah, it actually looks like. Oh, nah, he's smoking a blunt. Gang is smoking a blunt. It's insane. Ah, 50 Cent. Where you at?
What's an experience that's changed your life?
In the year like 2021 was my birthday. I made a joke like on the internet. I'm like, yo, all my fans send me money. They ended up sending me money. I ended up raising up like $400,000. That experience did a lot for me because that birthed my foundation. We give out money every year to motherless babies' homes, and I've been doing it every year since that birthday.
Why is it important for you to give back to the local community?
As citizens of any country, we can do our part. Me just doing my part, not only for the people around me, but to show other artists, show other people that you can, do more to help people around you. So, I don't only do it for the people around me, I do it for people to also see and get motivated to do the same. If you have that mindset, God sees the heart. I really want to put a burden or force anybody to do what I do, but the little that you have and can do, you should do it.
And what's some of the stories you've heard that this foundation has impacted lives?
Somebody had told me that, oh, my name is this, I'm a big fan. His mom worked for one of the motherless babies institutions that I actually donated money to, and he was telling me how much that money actually helped them. And I was like, wow, like, you changing people that you don't even know lives like every single day. So imagine how much prayers are coming for the boy.
What's your message to the world?
Make the world a better place, man. Day by day, one person by one person, and just be your brother or your sister's keeper. Show more love to the world, man.
What's your name and where you from?
My name is David O, and I'm from Nigeria.
What's an experience that's changed your life?
Whoa, I did not see that coming. That's actually Davido. Crazy.
What is your earliest memory of Marathon Day?
Marathon Day is deep for me. My dad, like many working class men of immigrant backgrounds, we did not have that much money. On Marathon Day, as a kid, we would walk across Commercial Road over to the highway. We would go to the local grocery and buy bottles of water. When I look back on it, it makes no sense because you had bottles of water being given out for free, but he would insist on buying the water, give them to us, and we would hand them out to runners going by. It was such a joyful memory, something that we did as kids for years.
How does the marathon affect the local community?
The great thing about the marathon in every part of London is it brings out the local community, and I think it's a bit of a competition now. It brings out the best of London. It also then inspires young people. A small example is when I ran the London Marathon, the same spot that I used to come to with my dad, I had the next generation of my family. So my nieces, my nephews, my siblings, my mum and my dad all came. It really allows young people in particular to see the best of London, to see hard work being realized in front of their very eyes, and inspire them to do the same thing.
What is something you're proud of?
I've had the privilege and the blessings of having a career that's allowed me to travel the world. But the thing that gives me a lot of joy is actually being able to support the local school here. So we're in Mulberry's newest school, London Dock. This school has done so much for the local community in the borough here.
What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Nizam. I am from London, specifically Tower Hamlets.
What is your earliest memory of Marathon Day?
So Marathon Day is deep.
Gotcha, my boy. I don't know why I do that, but so. Yo, this shit got me tearing up, bro. So I hate reacting to these stuff, so got me tearing up, making me look weak. Make the world a better place.
What is your biggest battle?
The journey of kind of telling yourself what you're doing is right, certain sacrifices, certain isolation, doubt, disbelief, but no, that's a part of it. There's an education to that. You know, being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Why do you think you have to go through struggle to get to where you have to go?
It's wisdom, it's understanding. You know the old saying, like, the strongest battle to the toughest soldier. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I feel like you strengthen within that battle. It was a line I actually have tattooed on the side of my head to know I mean it, to adapt. You may have a certain standard, a certain level that you hold yourself to. You don't quit, you don't alter that, you adapt to that, and you maintain that certain ethos that you've always created to yourself.
Who shaped you?
I would definitely say my father. He was the first Superman, but not through being like impenetrable, but being honest, to showing me like strength comes in many forms. He shows it in the weight room, but he also shows it in his sensitivity. And for me, that was an understanding of being the biggest, baddest man in the room, but also could be the comforting voice that you need when you don't have that strength.
What is the biggest lesson your father has taught you?
You want something, you work for it. Show up every day. You tuck your shirt in, you lift your head up, you shake somebody's hand correctly, you look somebody in the eye, you gain a level of sense of respect, understanding, and you continue to go be yourself every single day, the good, the bad, the indifferent.
Can I have your name and where you're from?
My name is Tylen, and I'm from Tennessee.
What is your biggest...
I even forgot what I was about to say, bro. This shit got me tearing up. God damn! Oh my god, bro. She got me tearing up so goddamn bad. It's insane, chat.
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
That I was never going to amount to anything.
Who said this to you?
My mother. That's who she was, and that's where she came from, and she didn't have any hopes.
Wow, as a mother, she didn't care. Yo, wait, illegitimate. Oh my god, I'm suffering with words. God damn. Were you adopted or like from another?
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
That I was never going to amount to anything.
Who said this to you?
My mother. That's who she was, and that's where she came from, and she didn't have any hopes for any of her children. It made me very determined to prove her wrong. And I went to NYU Law School, and I'm a practicing attorney for the last 30 years.
How has her influence shaped the person you are today?
In good ways and bad ways. I always knew who I didn't want to be as an adult and a parent.
How's your relationship with your mother?
We didn't talk for many, many years, but as she got older, we made amends, and she's very proud of me.
Do you remember the feeling when you guys first shared quality time together?
No. I'm a very tough person, and I've become very hardened over the years just because I had to take care of myself and fend for myself. And whether we got back together or not, it probably would have made no difference in my life. It's not a good show. My husband yells at me all the time, just let people in. But I find it very difficult.
From your journey, what is an advice you'd give to others?
Work really, really hard, prove everybody wrong, and do what you want. Life is all about change. You have to be adaptable.
Can I have your name and where you're from?
My name is Pamela, and I'm from New York, but live in Los Angeles now.
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
That I was never going...
Definitely in America, and shit. I said a little bit from London, but mostly America.
What is the biggest red flag you've completely ignored?
One time, this ex of mine, she asked me if I'm good at arguing. Something along those lines, and it was like on the first date. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good at it. Doesn't mean that I look for it. And she had this smile on her face that had me look at her like, what does she mean by that? Oh, I found out. That's a challenge. And I said, all right, challenge accepted. You want to see how good I am? Because the one thing that I know when it comes to arguing, you can't argue with the truth.
How long did that relationship last?
7 years. I found out she cheated on me, so I had to go ahead and, call that a date. She had a calendar. Everything was just written. I broke up with her January 2021. In December, and saying Christmas Eve, mind you, I get shot in the bottom of my feet. Trying to run away from some bullets. I don't know, but I got away because I'm still standing here, right?
What came out of that relationship?
Like a phoenix, rising out of the ashes. It's like one thing to the next where you look at everything in hindsight as 2020 as though it all had to happen anyway.
How did you heal your broken heart?
I just went back outside, you know? And I was out there showing everything, you know what I'm saying? Full transparency, like this is fucking me. And anybody got a problem with that?
Respectfully. I said go to the streets. Respectfully, bro.
That shit, take it up with God.
Can I have your name and where you're from?
My name is Kevin, and I'm from Brooklyn.
What is the biggest red flag that's completely ignored?
One time, this ex of mine, she asked me if I'm good at arguing. Something along those lines.
What's something you're proud of that we wouldn't know?
My mom told me that when I was small, I told her that I'm going to get her a big car. And I just got her a big car. It was like really wholesome moment, seeing where we're coming from. It's like full circle moments, you know. That's literally living your dreams. And it's her first car ever that's to her name.
What does your generosity mean to you?
It means everything, because that's what God said we should do. You know, the greatest of them all is the one that looks after his brother. It's not even about chasing greatness. It's just about living by the laws of the universe.